Hi, and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jacqui-Leigh. Today on Spirit Guide Mailbox, we're going to see what message Spirit has for us today. So I do set the intention that these videos find those who need them when they need them. So if this video did find you today, it means that it was meant for you. It does not, however, mean that the entire message is for you. It might just be a portion of it. So it might just be one part. So take whatever resonates with you and just leave the rest behind. No big deal. So we'll start out by getting one card and seeing where Spirit wants to start today. Ooh, falling out of my hands. Maybe Spirit wants us to know everything. Have every card fall out. Come on. Oh, and that one did want to come out. Okay. So, not the greatest card in the world. This is the Ten of Wands. And with the Ten of Wands is about having burdens, responsibilities, stress, right? It's just weighing down. I'm weighed down. I have all this stuff I have to carry, right? It's, I just have more and more responsibilities. I feel like I'm just holding all the responsibilities, all the burdens, all the stress, all the everything on myself, and I'm trying to plow forward. I'm step by step, I'm moving forward. But it is the tens. So that means you're almost at the end, right? So we're almost there. I'm carrying all this, but I can sort of see the finish line, right? Once I'm done this project, I'll have more time. Once the kids' activities are over, I'll have more time, whatever it is. And so it's just about having a lot of burdens on yourself, a lot of things you need to do. It could even just be like on your mind or a lot of tasks you have to do, but you're almost at the end of it. And it can also be, trying to look at your burdens in a different way. So what burdens could I hand off to somebody else? Do I have to carry these all myself to the finish line at this moment? Can I leave a few of my burdens here, carry these ones to the finish line, then come back, pick these ones up and bring them to the finish line too? So I will bring out my board. As always, I do dub over it. So it may not quite sound right, and I do trip over my words and all kinds of fun things like that. So hopefully it sounds good. I won't know at this moment. I won't find out till I dub over it later. So I'm going to get in my meditation mode, be quiet for a moment, and then we'll see what does Spirit want to tell us about our burdens and our responsibilities. Everyone has burdens and responsibilities. They need to take care of. But how they carry those responsibilities varies by person. Look at what you have on your plate and start figuring out how to carry it differently. Do you need to do it? Does it need to be done now? Is it even your burden to carry? Start to reorganize and prioritize and get rid of anything that is not yours. In the end, there are actually few things we need to do. Work, eat, sleep. Take care of loved ones. What are you carrying that is extra weight you don't need? What are you carrying because you feel others would be upset? If you didn't, what are you carrying just to try and create an image for others to see? Strip all your tasks, all your responsibilities into what they actually are and figure out what actually needs to be done by you and leave the rest behind. Yes, there may be those who are upset or who push back, but that is only because you are currently carrying their weight and they don't want to have the responsibility pushed back on them. But that is not yours to carry. Allow others to show what they can accomplish, what they can do, and you focus on what you actually need to do and push all the rest to the side. Love. Okay, So it's saying, everybody has burdens, everybody has responsibilities that they need to take care of, right? There's certain things you need to take care of. I need to go to work so I can pay my mortgage and I can buy food, and, I have to make sure my kids have clothing and that my kids are eating every day. So that's stuff I have to do. But we also have all these burdens and responsibilities that we choose to take on that aren't actually ours. And so what Spirit is saying is, really start stripping things down to what has to be done, and then we have this group of what has to be done, and we're going to go, this is a priority. We're always going to make sure this is done. Then this is the next priority. So we're going to usually have that done. And this stuff here, it's something we need to ensure we get done, like something like mowing the grass, but it could be pushed off, right? We have this we have to do now. It's urgent. We can't let it go. Our work, we have to go to work every day. We can't miss days. We can't, just play hooky, because then we're not going to get paid. Then we got this stuff. Okay. So we need to eat every day. It doesn't have to be at the exact same time. We can adjust. We can have snacks for food or for supper one night. We can, order in, so we can figure out how to, adjust this. But we will get it done. We're going to get it done. And then we have this stuff over here, like mowing the grass, like those type of things. Whereas, we need to get it done. Eventually, it'll get done when we can squeeze it in, and all our other responsibilities. But then you got this whole pile of stuff here. You got this whole pile of stuff here that isn't actually yours. So it could be you have a teenage child and you make their lunch for school every day. Well, you know what? They're a teenager. They can probably handle making lunch for themselves. And you probably find if you stop making lunch, they would figure it out. Right? Or maybe you have somebody that you do something for, twice a week. And you're like, you know what? I get that this helps you out, but you're also capable of doing this. You could do this for yourself. I was doing this as a nicety, and I will help you out when I can help you out, or when you need me to help you out, but actually helping you out, twice a week and doing this for you is actually too much of a burden for me. It's something I got to get off my plate. And you'll have those people that expect you to do things. Well, no, you have to. I'm this person to you, or I'm this person, or whatever, or, you're so horrible, a cruel person, or how could you not just do this one little thing for me? But what you have to understand is that maybe it's this one little thing, but if you do this one little thing, and I do this one little thing, and I do this one little thing, and I do this one little thing, and now I have to do this, and I need to do this, and this still got to get done, and now it's just way too much, right? Even volunteering, people might be like, oh, I volunteer at my child's school because I want to help out, but also it looks good, like, oh, I'm an involved parent and I'm at the school, but maybe that's just too much for you. Maybe, I get, say, half a day off a week and I use that to go into the school, but now because I've used that to go into the school and volunteer at the school, now I haven't got my grocery shopping done, now I haven't done this chore, now I haven't done that. And actually, if you freed up that one afternoon a week and didn't volunteer at the school, then you would more easily carry your burden. You're like, oh, I'd have this whole afternoon, and every week I'd get this, and done in that time. And then when my kids actually come home from school, I can be focused on them. I can be spending time with them because I haven't spent my time that I had to do these chores volunteering at the school. And so make sure you're not carrying, look at that. My eyes went right to it when I looked down. So make sure that you are not carrying extra weight around, extra burdens, extra responsibilities that either should belong to somebody else, or that you don't need to do, these voluntary things, or things that, you're only doing so that other people can see, right? Like maybe it's, you're spending hours a week on your lawn, right? Really, you could spend half an hour or an hour mowing the lawn. That's all the lawn really needs. Maybe a few extra hours, at the beginning of the season, end of the season, but we don't need to put effort into the lawn. But, oh no, I want my neighbors to see that I have the greenest lawn and it's perfectly manicured and the edging's all perfect and everything's beautiful. That's just all about your ego. You're putting in all this extra work, creating all of this burden for yourself, this responsibility, these duties, this time sucker, just so, oh, look, other people see I have a beautiful yard. Well, isn't that great? Meanwhile, you're in the 10 of Wands being weighed down by burdens. How about we just spend an hour every 2 weeks mowing the lawn, and the rest we're just going to let go. We're not going to worry about what other people think. You don't like my lawn? You know what? That's great, because I now have a balanced life, right? I have time for my work. I have time for my play. I have time for my rest, because I'm not spending 8 hours a week on my lawn. I'm spending 1 hour every 2 weeks on my lawn, and that's it. So make sure you're not carrying responsibilities out of guilt that don't really belong to you. Make sure you're not carrying responsibilities just because of what other people would say if you didn't. Don't make sure you're not carrying responsibilities just because you want to put on a show for other people, right? Figure out what actually needs to get done. Figure out what your priorities are. This has to be done at this time. This has to be done whenever. This we can just move around, put off, not do this time, do it next time. And then just fit those in, and don't start bringing in all these extra burdens that you don't have time for, right? And it might be, oh, I feel guilty. I don't volunteer at the school. They need volunteers. Okay, I get that. You're not capable of that right now. Other people are. And also, of course, we all want to volunteer at the school when our kids are actually at the school, but that doesn't mean later on in life, you know, when my kids are grown and I have all this extra time, or when I'm retired and I don't even go to work anymore. You could be volunteering at the school all the time, and you can give that help in the future to those parents, those children that are sort of, you know, coming up, like not even born yet, right? Like, and so then you'll be taking that burden off of other mothers or fathers who have children in the school at that time, because you'll be there, they won't have to, and they can focus on other things. So it's really about, you know, sharing the burden, but ensuring that you're only taking on as much responsibilities as A, you have to, and then B, that you actually can carry. And if you can't carry it, or if it's somebody else's, then it has to go by the wayside. Otherwise, you're just going to burn out, right? I mean, that's great. You've got 30 things to do, and you're going to go, 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 go. Now I burnt out, and I'm doing none of the 30 things. Or I can just do 10 things all the time consistently and have a balanced life and flow through. And so just take a look. Figure out, and some people may give you backlash, right? What do you mean? You've done that every year for the last 10 years. Well, I know, I've done it every year for the last 10 years. Now it's somebody else's turn. I've had this burden. I've had this responsibility. I've done it. I've taken my turn. Now somebody else can have it. And that's perfectly legit to say, right? Like, no, somebody else can do this, right? Like, why does it have to be on you? And people are like, what? You need to. And you're like, well, you could too. That's, you know, oh, well, I've got too much. Well, no, you just don't want to be burdened down with it. So now you're putting this guilt and pressure on me so that I'm burdened down, because I take, like, making lunch for your teenage son or teenage daughter, whatever, right? Like, oh, why? I loved you making lunch. Yeah, I get that, honey. I understand you love me making lunch. I loved making lunch for you too. But you're now a young adult, or soon, like a teenager, right? Like soon to be a young adult. And these are responsibilities that A, you should be taking on yourself, B, that you need to learn so that you do, and you need to get used to. This is how life goes. We need to take care of eating, we need to go to school or work, right? And so you're getting into the flow of life, and you're starting to get more and more responsibilities, because it's not my responsibility to baby you until you're 25, and then all of a sudden you expect a partner to come in and baby you, and now it creates all kinds of issues and dynamics, right? You need to be responsible for yourself, just like I'm going to be responsible for myself. Well, I hope this message helped you today. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.